Hello folks and welcome back to Production Line. In our last episode, we started off our factory here. We were able to set up a basic line. We are now producing some of our own goods. And we're about to go in and start customizing this whole section here. Ooh, we have a red car. What does that mean? But if we take a look here, last time we set up a line that originally started over here and then went out. But we've relocated our paint all the way over to the other side. Our engine one's still there, and then we have this. But we have a total of 4 of these areas going. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're producing some of our own stuff. So let's go take a look and see how we're doing here, getting everything set up, and then we'll move forward from there. So the cars are going on a very long trek all the way around here, and that's fine for right now. We will get them to speed up a little bit down the road here as we are going to change some of the things of what we're doing. Namely, what we're going to be working on right now is getting our bumper, door, and arches specialization. Those things are going to allow us to unlock some more stuff inside of here. So if we take a look here, right now for arches, it takes 2 minutes and 12 seconds. But if we have the other ones, it knocks it down to about 2 minutes each. The same is true for bumpers, which we're currently researching. And you can see everything is roughly about 2 minutes long, except for this body shell, which is 3 minutes. So that one's going to be the one that's going to be the longest time suck, but everything else should go pretty quick. Now, one thing that we didn't do last time is when we got these, we had upgrades available to us. So we're going to upgrade all of our existing slots for faster robots. So we should be able to pump these out a little quicker. And hopefully that will up our number of cars that we have coming through here. And we are losing lots of money right now. So we need to go through and decrease our sale price on some of these cars. And hopefully we'll be able to get some more out of the door here. So hopefully, I think we'll be able to do that without too much problem. And as we sell more cars, we should be in real good shape here. But this game very much ebbs and flows, and you really have to pay attention to your cash flow along with what you're selling your cars for. That's going to drastically influence how much money you make. Because we have 23 cars at $20-ish thousand a pop. That's a lot of money that we are out right now that we desperately need if we want to improve this entire line. Instead of being this little gaggle here, we're going to have a lot of other cool stuff, I think, happen here shortly. But we need to have the room to do it. So what's our operating officer say? Yeah, I know. We have lots of hours of that. So we're going to continue to bring down the price a little bit more here. We'll make it $19.5 and see if that will help us sell out of those cars a little more quickly. It looks like that's about the right price. We are bringing that number down pretty quick. And that's a good thing for us. So that's one of the things you got to watch in this game really is when you start producing more cars, you really got to start paying attention to how much they cost, because there's not going to be as many customers coming in at certain price points. And if you're high, you can build up a lot of stock really quickly and you run into some problems. But we are going through right now, and we're up over $500,000 just in that little bit by selling all those cars that were in our showroom. We're going to increase that just slightly to $20,000. And the only reason I'm doing that is because we are losing cars in our showroom. I want to keep a few in there. Wow, we are... okay, that's fine. But as we have cars coming in and out of there, you can kind of see that we want to make sure that we are doing what we need to do for that. So we are selling, we're sales per hour is 23 because we just sold all of them. And we're making 7 of these per hour. So we're doing our job there. This whole thing, this budget is interesting always to look at, to see where you're at with stuff. But we're moving through and doing what we need to do for all of this. We also have our rival companies continuing to add on a whole bunch of stuff at lower and lower levels for us. So we will get there eventually. We just need to kind of unlock some more stuff. Depending on where you're at on this too, in the research area, certain things you cannot add to cars unless you have actually done the research. Yeah, it looks like we are selling that one for a little too cheap, so we're going to increase the cost of it. And you can see that our pricing model has changed as well. Our gross profit was negative $4,000. Now it's down to negative $1,300. Even with that price increase, we still are the margins are changing based off of what we're able to produce things for, because we're not. Last time we built on all this stuff and all of this stuff, which made the cars going out of the door much more expensive. But now that we're not spending any additional money other than for supplies coming in, the price goes down. So it's kind of fun to watch and see what happens with all this stuff. But we are still working on this. We have our few basic things, and then we're going to go over and start working on the next level of specialization. And I don't think I'm going to focus right now on the, let's see. I don't think I'm going to focus right now on making sure that we have everything that we need to have as far as manufacturing for, like, because we can make a lot of this stuff too. Like, we have bumper manufacture, we can arch manufacture, there's vents and spoilers and all kinds of stuff that we can manufacture. I'm not super interested in doing that quite yet. Not for any real reason other than that I think we need to start moving on to some of the other things. So we have our arches now, or we have our bumpers. What do we have? Yeah, we have our bumper specialization. And if you take a look here, we go in here and look at bumpers. We have front and rear bumper now. And these are all kinds of funky shapes. You'll see in a sec once we get the next one in there that we have all kinds of funky shapes that are available to us. So looking at research, we have engine manufacturer. We can do all kinds of stuff there. We have electric powertrains, steering wheels. So we actually are going to need to get that one. So add that to the queue and add that to the queue. Wow, so get wheels here. Paint's always fun. And then we have a whole bunch of accessories that we can do with different things, but I'm not worried about that quite yet. Our next real goal is to go in and start working on the body fitment and seeing how that all looks. So the body shell is going to be the one that takes the longest amount of time. That's probably going to exist something like right here, and then we'll have everything go down this line into our paint area. The paint area, once we get to the next round of stuff, maybe this area right here might be just for painting once we have a chance to do that. I'm not sure quite yet, but that might be coming. You can also see our battery up here on the top right is at 0%, so we're producing none of our own power. No percentage of our power is being produced by ourselves, but we do have power production coming up sooner rather than later. But we are doing what we need to do to sell the cars. We're keeping roughly 5 in our area here. And take a look, our gross profit has gone down again. Our component cost has gone up, and yeah, I don't know, but we are making a profit here. We're up another $200,000 from where we last were, so that's good. Just a matter of getting them in there and selling out the cars. So I might drag this one up a little bit here. So we'll do doors, then that, and then we can get these guys in there. The QA specialization is very expensive, but it's a good thing to have, especially as we're producing more of our own stuff and kind of going through and getting some of our own stuff set up. You can really customize a lot in there, and it makes it a lot better. Eventually, I'd like to buy this area here and have all of this part of the factory over here. Then we can use this main area for the body. We'll have paint over here, and then engine can kind of be over in this area. We'll come down here and have all of the accessories and stuff, and then have them go out of the door. Where can they go out of the door? Probably there, and there's another one there, and there's 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be where we eventually will sell them all out and get them out of the door. All right, as far as our loan goes, if I repay this early, I think I'm going to. It's $337,000 with a $9,000 penalty, but it saves us $5,000 a good bit. So I'm going to repay that, and that should make our value here also change. And we're keeping a good level. Again, we're still keeping roughly 4 to 5 cars in our showroom at any one time. Paint booth's doing fine. This is our backup right here. This production is very slow. So when we unlock the next two things, which is the arches and the door specialization, that's when we're going to have a big capital expenditure. We're going to spend a lot of money on all of this stuff, not that one, body fitment. So if you take a look here, this is basically going to be $100,000 between all of that. The roof is going to be, actually that's not too bad. So each one of these costs between 16 and 20 something thousand dollars. The doors, yeah. So we have a lot of elements that are going to be about $16,000, but we're going to be able to do something every 2 minutes, which is how fast these guys are producing as well. So that should no longer be a bottleneck. We should be having a car roll out every 2 minutes, and then we're going to have a bottleneck either at paint or at the engine area. And we'll have to figure that out once we get there. But you can see we did pay back our loan, took us down to 300 something, and we are on our way up. So we are making money. Even though it says we're losing money, we're still making it somehow. So I think our big problem right now is we have a lot of money tied up in stuff just sitting here. All of this right now is not being sold and is money that we had to spend stuff on. So our gross profits are down because we have a lot of money just sitting, not moving anywhere. And as soon as we start being able to do a little more here, that problem will be solved pretty quickly. So trying to decide where we want to go here. Do I want to bring just like this guy straight out and come over so we have this area to work in? I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to have this go straight over and interact there. And then this one is going to come over there and up. And now we have this kind of runway here that we can start expanding and doing things with. Going to get rid of all of this old area because it does pay us back $600 a pop. There we go. We have our arches, and then a door one should be there. So we get half the money back that we spent on this. So it's not bad. We also have another importer over here, which we were definitely going to need for some of our next steps. I'm going to slow the game down to 1 speed here, and we're going to go in and start off the main thing. So this is the only spot that's going to take a little bit longer than everything else. It takes 3 minutes to do this one. So if I could put that in there, and then put another one. I can't do that. Hold on. So what I want to have happen right now is I have the cars come in here and go either or, and then they can come out. It's going to take too long to do that, but I do want to make sure that we have space to do what I want to do here. So after the body shell, we have the hood, then we have the trunk, and we'll take a look, just making sure we have everything there. After the trunk are the bumpers, which we have the front bumper, then the rear bumper. And I guess I could provide a little space for each of these. I just don't care that much. Then after the bumpers, we have the bottom trim. After the bottom trim, we have the front arch, followed by the rear arch. And again, making sure all of these are roughly in the 2 minute area. Hold on, bottom trim is 4 minutes. Okay. Let's fix this. What are you? Your bottom trim. That's going to be a 2. Hold on. No, that's fine. Okay, it was the bumpers that if you do one bumper. So the trim is 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Front arch, rear arch, fit vent. Okay. Then we have door, or roof. Roof is 4 minutes, so that's going to be one that goes... So fit roof. Oh, not... Hold on, which one is this? See, this is where I get confused. Okay. So I have to fit roof. This one is fit roof. And we have another fit roof here. Alright, I'm just going to connect some of these up with conveyors just to make sure I remember I want to do, or how I want to do this. So that one's going to flow through there, and then this guy is going to come here and connect in. All right. So you can see there we have a really long line of stuff that we still need to work with here. We're working on the doors right now, correct? Yeah, so we're kind of stuck until we get our door stuff. We have our door panels, windows, and then wing mirrors. And once we have all those, we will be in really good shape. So I'm going to connect our resource importer there. There we go. Okay. So all those are going to start getting a flood of stuff, and now we need to spend some money because we just used a whole bunch. So we're going to take this loan out, and that gives us over $1 million to do whatever it is that we need to do next with. And one of the other problems we're going to run into right now is we don't have a lot of resource importers for some of this stuff. So I think I'm going to dedicate this one here. There we go. We have our doors now. This one is now going to be just dedicated to that part of the production line. And then we can remove that. Here comes all those parts. Beautiful. They just need to come from a lot farther away, but now this whole area is served by just one set of stuff. All right, let's go take a look here. We have our door panels, which are going to take two. There we go. The windows take a little longer, so we may want to expand on that down the road, but I'm not going to worry about it quite yet. Windows and wing mirrors. Okay. So windows, mirrors. Those are going to go in there. Then all of that can just join right up with that section. And we will have that whole area solved here in just a moment. Okay, let's slow the game back down. We're going to remove just this one for now. Oops. Okay, we're just going to remove just those two for right now. And we're going to take a look and see what happens here. And then we're also going to buy all of the robots here. And our biggest problem right now is just waiting on stuff to come in, I think. We can see how much faster we have cars just flying through this. We should see it a lot more in detail here real soon. And all of these are going to be going that way now. So once these two are done, then we can remove them from service. And we'll also be able to add another importer back in to help us out with stuff. It's just me, or is this one going way faster than this one? Oh, it's a body frame, not a body shell? Ah, that's why, okay. I made a goof. All right, let me get rid of that one. Body shell. Alright, now we should be moving a lot more quickly with everything. It's going to take a little while for that to filter down the system, but it should work a little bit better here. I'm just going through and trying to get some of our cash back. And I have a problem with the next slot map down for that one, so just give me a second. Alright, why are you not finding your next slot? Your next slot. This hood, correct? Alright, let's try doing this. There we go. Okay. Sometimes the pathways on here are a little funky and take a little time. We're going to get a little back up here, and that's fine. But you can see now we have cars in various states of manufacture going all the way through here. And you can see that our paint now is our backup. We're flying through going everything else and getting all of that kind of squared away here. So we're using our current research as administration. It's going to take a little while. It doesn't do anything apparently for us right away, but it will filter out here soon enough for us. And then I really want to be able to buy this area because I would love to have paint flow right into this area. And then we have this giant area for the engine. And then we can go through and do some other things. But taking a look here, our cars are slowly getting cheaper to make. And we're also doing a better job of selling them. So there we go. We are not going to reduce our production of that. Sorry, that's just not going to happen. We're going to keep producing that as much as we possibly can. And we'll move forward from there. So we're going in. Look at this backup that we have now just because of paint. That's fascinating. And let's see here. So this is the other problem that you can run into is you can actually start costing yourself a bunch of money because we have tons and tons and tons of cars. We're eventually going to get backed up here because we don't have the production to handle that area. Oops, that one's located incorrectly. So there we go. All right. You can see now we're backed all the way up out to here. And pretty soon, this is going to be a big backup for us as well. So we're going to have to manage our budget a little bit here, making sure that we're not producing too many cars in any particular spot. But you can see we are doing our job. These things are going out and they're flying through. So we're doing what we need to do here. And you can see that our margins have gone way up as a result of being able to produce stuff more quickly and easily. We're only making 8 an hour still because of this area here. We probably are going to add on one more of these, I think. Now we're starting to run into a problem where we're waiting for resources to happen here. So we're just taking a look, making sure that we have that. And you saw our first one went out with defects. It sold, but we have cars that are now showing defects. So as we are entering day 3 here, the game gets a little less generous with some of the things that you might be able to do. So we're there, and we still have to, we only have one loan available to us still. It's for a lot of money, but we don't want to take that right now because we don't need it. But wow, we are backed up across the board here paint-wise, and yeah, we're moving along. It's just we need to make sure we do everything we can to help things go a little quicker here. One of our backups here also is just waiting for stuff. You see this conveyor belt is always going. So if we go down into our stuff here and take a look, we want faster overhead conveyors, turbocharged and early stock consumption. Those are all important. Faster importers are also there, and import priorities also important. So we have a lot that we need to kind of do, but I do want to make sure we do have the expansion on. And with the paint specialization, you can see that there's no real crazy thing other than we have high pressure ones, which makes paint go faster, and polished paint work. But these unlock a whole new area for us to paint, which is going to be fun. So we just need to make sure we're producing, getting our stuff done and completed here, and then we will be in excellent shape with what we need to do. And our cars are slowly flowing through and doing exactly what they need to in order to be produced properly, easily, and safely by us. Oh, did we get the generator? Hold on, not save. Oh, we do have power plant. Cool. Okay. So let's go in and add some power plants here for us. So you can see that's producing a little bit of our power. We'll get it to produce a whole bunch more here soon. So we're only producing 35% of our power. Take a look here. We can upgrade all of them for not very much money. And now we're up to 41, 42. Depends on how many machines we're actually using. Because as this backup will go down, a lot of these other machines are not going to be getting used as much. All right, so we're in a big backup now for the QA stuff. So our quality assurance, and we also really need to add that to our list. Smart junctions, what they do is allow you to make decisions based off of what's happening. So if a car, what's going to happen here, I think, is that if we detect defects, like these cars have defects, they're still selling for some reason, but we can actually have them go back around. If they have a defect, we can have them go off to one side, get fixed, and then go back through the inspection process. And if they're working, then we can send them out. If they're not, they can get reworked. There is like a logic gate that allows that to function. So we just need to check and see if that's working for us here. But we're rolling through here on day 3. We're at $1 million, even though we have a loan of 1.1, so we're below our loan amount, but we are selling cars, and we are making quite a bit of money on these now. Each car we're making roughly $5,000, so we need to just keep going with them and hopefully keep selling them. We're not really able to keep them in our showroom very long, so I'm going to increase the price just a tad and see if that's going to change our output here. Looking at our overall goal, we're at 16%. We are on day 3. We've sold 486 cars out of the 3,000 we need to do. So we're moving along pretty nicely, but we definitely will need to produce more. And you can see as cars are going through, I can see the little colors changing, all kinds of stuff. But this is, look how cool that is. Super cool. And we do have new loans available, which is exciting as well. So we're just moving through, doing our thing, and hopefully getting set up here. And as we do more of our own stuff, if we take a look at like component wise or production slot wise or our factory stats, we're doing fine. And finance wise, if we go to expenses, power purchase, it's $13,000. In the past 24 hours, we spent $500,000 on power purchases. So we're now producing 30% of our own stuff. So that should go down by a third at least, if not more. So we're probably taking over $100,000 back and putting it in our pocket. And all time we've spent $1.3 million on just electricity, which is crazy. Raw materials has actually cost us less than power has. And the most expensive thing we have are component purchases, which hopefully have gone down a little bit since we have been able to produce some of our own stuff. I'd like to produce a whole lot more of our own stuff, but we're not there quite yet. So we now have this giant backlog of cars going through here, and it's also backing up through here. So we can actually even sell more cars if we needed to right now. I may put on another, let's see, what is that? That's accessories, right? Yeah, let's put on another accessory line here. And then we should be able to get some cars rocking through here real fast. At least if we're able to clear out this queue here, that would be nice, and we can start flooding the market with some cars. Although now we need to decrease our money because we have too many cars in our showroom. I like to keep it in the single digits if possible. And we're still making money per car, so I'm not super concerned about that part of it. And I think we're going to add on a few more power plants here. There we go. Producing 2/3 of our own power now. And you can see we have backed everything up. So no matter where you're at in our factory, we have massive backups. We will solve that soon enough, but it's going to take a little time to work out. So we're working on the QA specialization. Once we have that problem solved, then we can working on defects, and that we'll get the air conditioner, and then we can do engine specialization. And engine specialization, I don't think has any other. It's all manufacturer, I think. Yeah, which is not something we need. We have steering wheel specialization, and then wheel specialization, and then all that's manufacturing. And then we have paints and all that stuff going. So I'm pretty excited. Our factory is going to be expanding pretty big here. We just need to, one, expand more than our space is allowing us to right now, and have a little bit better of a flow. So we're doing our thing, and we should be in good shape here very soon. That is, if we can start selling our cars for a little bit less money, but selling more of them. So there's 16. We're sort of holding steady at 16. Again, I like to keep this number down in the single digits if possible. And we will apply a discount for a known defect that you can get 5% off. So it should help the defective cars go out a little quicker. Yeah, there we go. Look, now we're down into single digits. So I'm going to raise that up to 19.5. Still making good amounts of money because our cost overall has gone way down. And what's our chief operating? We need to produce a lot more budgets, huh? We go into our stats. We're producing 11 vehicles an hour. We have 191 total employees, and we're making 9 defects an hour. So that's not the best. If we're producing 11 or 10 cars and 7 of them are going out with defects, that's not the best. So we're definitely gonna spend some time correcting that issue. While we're doing that, let's go into facilities and add some more research offices. And all I want that to do is speed up how fast we're going through here. So we're able to produce 9.17 points per minute. So you can see that we're producing a fair amount here that we should be able to start blasting through a lot of these. And our backup is actually getting cars out of the door right now. So our QA, our quality check, is taking 5 minutes. Export takes 3 minutes. So we could split this off in half, but I don't think that's really super necessary to what we're doing. We're just going to leave it as is and hope for the best right now and keep selling cars. But I love the level of detail in this game. You can see all the little robots doing their things. You get the shine on the cars, depending on the angle they're at, it changes. This is just a really fun little isometric look at stuff. And you can see all the little things coming to be. I like it. It's a really fun little game to go through and do stuff. Even though we have this horrible backup. As soon as we get all these cars sold, like we could shut down production right now, like just remove one of these and just let that line clear out. If we start running out of money or we didn't have loan options, that's probably what I would opt to do. But right now, we're okay. We don't need to do that for right now, so we're not going to. Mainly just trying to get our stuff researched and out of the way here. And as soon as we do that, I feel a lot better. I don't want to sell cars with defects because every defect means that they're getting bought for 5% less. So that's less money coming into our pocket, which I'm not a fan of. Again, taking a look here, we've made it up to 20%. And we're going through, let's take a look at our expenses here. Our power purchase, you can see, has started coming way down. That was way over 400,000. Now it's under 350. And if we take a look at our biggest expenses, that's still, other than capital investment, which is buying all the stuff, component purchase, which we need to have. It's was one of the biggest expenses that we had, power purchase. Now it's come way down. So we sort that through. It was our third largest, and I'm sure rent's actually going to overcome that here in a little bit as we continue to produce the cars we need to produce. Yeah, I know. This is the game. This is the thing you got to play with this game, is making sure that you sell enough cars while producing lots of cars. So it's and we have there's probably 100 vehicles or so all the way back here. So what I might do is just shut down production here for a second, and then we'll move forward and see what we have. I know it's not connected, but we're going to let this clear out a little bit just to try to save ourselves a little bit of money. And then we can spool it back up once we clear this queue out a little bit, because this is a lot. Nice thing here. Oh, there we go. Okay, we have our QA stuff taken care of. So let's take a look and see how we want to build that. So we'll slow the game down here. So visual inspection, performance check, and emissions check. All right, so they're going to come out here and go straight up that way. Is that what I want to do? Let's actually have them go that way. Okay, so one. Performance check. And emissions check. Okay. And then once they've successfully cleared all that, they'll come down here, go over there, and back out. So I have that set up like that for right now. It'll make more sense in a little bit, I think, why I did it that way. But now these cars should clear out pretty quickly. And we're going to get backlog through here about what's going on. But that's okay. Because our next research area is the reworking, and then we have smart junctions. So what's going to happen is any car that has a defect, we're going to have it shoot out over here, get reworked, and go back through the inspection process. And if it has defects, go back through, and it just kind of keeps going through that line until it gets fixed. That will allow us to really pay more attention to what's going on there. And we have way too many cars in our showroom, which is being reflected in our lack of money right now. We're losing a lot of money. So we are going to decrease the value or price of our cars. And hopefully that will help us solve some of this. We also have a whole bunch of cars going out now. We were producing, basically sending a car out every 5 minutes. Now we're sending them out significantly more often. We're also producing more an hour just because of this one change right there. But we need to sell a bunch of cars there. And you can see that we're clearing out this area. But I mean, still, we could fill this back in really quickly because we have, again, there's probably 50 cars, maybe 100 cars, and not 100, probably 50-ish cars there that we need to clear out pretty quickly. All right, so we have our reworking station now. So that's in our quality check. with the rework station. So the cars are going to come out, they're going to go out there, they're going to get reworked, and then they'll go back through there. And that should hopefully work as soon as we get the next thing here. I do want to bring factory expansion up and paint specialization up. Dragging these doesn't always work the way I want it to, but that works right there. So you can see we cleared out this queue for the most part. That was being backed up by the slow quality assurance stuff. So we've gotten that. These guys are just being a little slow because they don't have the resources they need. So we're definitely going to have to address that a little bit. And we've cleared out most of this backlog here as far as all of that goes. So those guys are going down. You can see our power production has gone way up because we're not using a whole lot of machines right now. Basically this entire half the factory is basically closed. We have paint, the engine area, and the final stuff, but the initial manufacturer area is completely shut down right now. So what's our COO telling us? Yeah, I know we're only making one style. I'm okay with that. We need to perfect that style, and then we can go and address other things. So the rework thing, how long does that take? The defect chance, there we go, okay. So let's slow it down here. Now we can go into conveyors. We have our smart junction left. Nope, that's not what I want. 3 exits. How do I want this to be? Alright, so defect mode. Cars with defects are going to go straight. And you can see now, as these guys come out, they're going to go to the rework station. They'll get fixed up there. And now it doesn't have any defects. So it has an 80% chance of being fixed. See, this one still has defects, so it's going to go back through the process. So it's going to go back in this line. We already know it has defects. It'll go through here, and then hopefully it'll get fixed. And there we go. Now we can sell it for full price. So no car that has defects should go out of our factory anymore, which should hopefully improve our overall sales and overall perceived value. We take a look here as well. The number of cars in our showroom has definitely gone down, and our price sale has gone up, or not up, but it's maintaining. And taking a look here, we're just going to try to empty out some of this, and then we can restart production here. We're back to 1.2 mil. We do have new loans available, and we could actually pay this one back, but that doesn't give us a lot of room for the next steps of what I want to do. So we're not going to do that quite yet. But eventually this area here of this, I want to move over to here because we have 3 export areas that we can sell cars out of. And there's lots of cars with defects coming out, but they're not coming out of the factory, which is what we want. Our COO still saying lots of things. I don't want to reduce the production of them, I want to increase the sale price of them. We only have single digits available in the showroom, so that means we need to increase the price of them. And again, we're just waiting to kind of clear out some of this, and then we'll go bananas. We're going to expand our factory here next, and then we're going to add in a whole new paint area. Start over here and work its way over, and then come back up. But that may be for our next video. I'm not sure. Let's just make sure we get everything set here, and it looks like we're starting to accumulate some cars again. And just taking a look at research real fast, you can see that there's stuff coming. Ooh, central locking. Okay. So we're gonna need to add that to the queue, and that's gonna have to happen pretty quick because that's coming down. Air conditioning is also now in the basic area, so we're gonna need to do some of that because our car does not have universal features at this point, or at least features. Where's the air conditioning is rare and central locking is rare, but it is coming down to those bottom lines, so we need to make sure we get that part taken care of here sooner rather than later. And it looks like this area is clearing out pretty nicely, so we're going to restart production here in just a moment. You see we're almost there. We go. We have our paint specialization. We can expand that if we wanted to, but I think that's going to be for our next episode. And the last thing I want to do is just reconnect this conveyor back on there and restart our lines. And you can watch our power production. We were up at 90%. It's going to plummet here as we fire all these machines back up for the first time in a little while. But look how fast. I mean, these lines just move, which is great. Our biggest backup right now is this area right here, which we will have to solve in a little while. If we take a look at paint real fast, we have the undercoat, which takes 3 minutes. The dry coat, which takes 12, so we're going to need like 4 of those for every one of these, or 3 of these for every one of those. The paint finish is another 4 minutes. And then dry finish is going to be there. And you also saw we just got central locking undone for that. And we'll take care of that and take a look at that in our next episode. But I think that's going to wrap us up here for today. We have our defect modes and everything that we need to have set up. I'm pretty happy with this. Hey folks, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in our next episode.